hwe healthcare so omo chips compound and omo ko
so ye ko ka si an so ben won pa do na mo wo ko si bo nti oye ayashe e family mana on shada anye problem wo pa ni ye biti de ya ina kala no ko na mom kala pa na beti mum na ya aya titikata de pantama ti de action ma obi lo di marketing ana be man de stem oba ansana ina kala de kala o kem shi o shada anye bo.
I see. Na MP atena so mfie say na chese ye keka ni 16th year mu na wawura you. Wa compare na idea chese wadi kan ahye 3 terms ago. 4th term no na ni 16th year. Ekwa wie ya na chese 16 years no no. Ede pa wo se wo mo kwan kane anso de ehye danye reliable sa etime kokora 3-4 days ne mai ana na fe na aba. Eno ni other issues. Ede mmoa eno de bo manfo no waso bi mu abo mu dwetire ana so se oboa hwe bi mu school ede mmoa pa no manfo no betime de o man ho ato so se ye mpi ba ye apart from kwan a wayie ene nioma ba ko mienu bi no we ni de ode bo a ebetime amma nipa ye yi kwan a sabe nipa na befa so na so se wa ma babunu bi ba bi anyina se school na ade na ekọ ana adwuma bi na ade ni sua a aje se daache no krono ni menseni nhede ni daachi bi asa emmoa ben na wode aboa wode beboa ama human resource etumi develop e won potemo ho
amase se aba enyan ejuma ko enyan sam abato so da me na oso oso papa na ehwe bi o dan ko no wonder there what you are sado is for quarter election year mena why you mo ko biara ko biara no ebo hu ni sanu juma ka ona imbebu woni yedeze MP ona na komado ko biara abakwa no aya yi ba ku ebian bi wotu wa bo won na juma impo aya force work isa se fi enyan me minim ka yi pa ba wa ko ni se wo wo city services anya gwen enya mem de mi dudu na immigration wo gumbebre akọ berman etiam pe ena ọrụ ọcha dan dos na inkon kan ka ejuma ko enyan ikoko nyara no ene ba se ko enyan obontal in fact FP no why ejuma nitino why wonyami human resource na dey the kind of member presented wiser. Mama, come on, 75.
I see.
Oh, yeah, Juma. It's not to say, or could be far. Over one day, I'm not going to one man at the parliament.
I see.
Honestly, oh, yeah, Juma.
Okay. And yeah, not just say, the Akan one young fan to us, so now, Ukua Bona, no watching Tipreco, sir. Now, I'm on the menu. Yabada was a papa, Panana. Yadu see a money, Juma. Yada say abusuafo yensem training na man kata wodi nkan yensem training an fimfi mantamu no tonkra edifiri eba na we enyan eye krom ya ewo adwumaku enyan esiam constituency yewra kesela to force no Ghana finance minister ne constituency ene ho omanfo ne kire say nioma ne bi ye ebi nso nyenti wo sre obi kan so liver twist ask for more nti na de aka no o meyen fa nka homomo na asetre ne mu enkoyie abusuafo nyame yadomo a na wotwemienu say ene 15th August na yebeye damu nyina mpaebo ewa ha na afa anwumre no no twikosi na de kyen no nan eno so aye all night sonko hyane so Oyerepa ni mu heya na ni nyina ebekoso adwontofo ebeba eye minister Kwame Joshua Bano na Frida Boateng yebebo mpaya ma ye ho abobia ma ye ma ene oman no nteduru ho a won so fa wo him Kojak pharmacy en kancho se wodi procode aba uti paiwo ohine mususo nsuo flu acho kata ne de keke ka ho nyina wadro ene procode na no nso eda nchen a toothpaste aye kama ya eboa wo sizes ahodo nyina kese ne ketwa babia awokọ no utimi enya bi de show ho ema etumi eboa wo ena wo de fluoride ne calcium nso wom eno nso so ema sen na hoden papa ena wo sensitive toothpaste nso ho a eno no eboa wo se no ade enwuna na ade ehye pi eka wano a na wo mete no unya no bi twetwe osi a eno nso timi boa pebito e wo Kojak farmer nkran wo kan shi drug lane upe bi ato etu a 0531 069945 and 0531 070020 so ebra so say me sorry na me ma PSC la de kwan na o the health and lifestyle ebeto amoso me de Akua Asiedua me da mu nyina ase asomdwe nkamo.
TGIF, thank God it's Friday, new day, new dawn, new beginning. Yedo twedi ampo nyankopon ase. Se aye ne pene yehiem ebiem. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Eweja obane sonson konkron edimo. Me di PSC la de health and lifestyle bro. And the lifestyle no, the aye kasa fa ho, blended families and step parenting challenges. Se busuano, we free ha aba ebi okro ya abanoma se wo ye ena ana ejama akoda no ohawa ewumu ye ne Reverend Mrs. Amapokua Obin Bruce we lecturer computer science department ewo Kumasi Technical University ye fa sedama Cas Montessori school na ide on board na hofe papa we dey student a kai fa no ye ka kama emunu dwan air conditioners bubom enye okolampani bia enye titele bia enye gwangwagwa twetwetwe gwangwani bia new cars pa fe we border so a baby a obeda no edan mo fe a chair 5-star hotel cra air conditioners nya abobo ho omo we French kasa sensuo no oye robotics artificial intelligence so che kwada no wo abrochire na pa obi de obeja na baby de obeja fa ne ko Cas Montessori obehwa kwada no kama obeda ho na mo feeding kwada no ye pa fa oba no ko ope cleaners ope experienced teachers ena fe wo pe omo benu anuane caterers ama oni wa ye adwuma ubenya baby ada 0244 849 378 0244849378 and 0531 250698 0531 250698 waso ope investor enti se obotom ye kakra na oba odi bi ska be hye school no mu a na mfaso no macha ebeboa pa enti ye investor ebeboa ama school no Kojak farmer so na di procode ye wadru mu yade ene kata aduru abedwa so your friend procode nkwara ne mpanifo de nyina wo ho Kojak charcoal toothpaste fisi ma na yefita Kojak regular fluoride toothpaste you su ne de bia so ma sen no strong ema ebo ho ban ma sen ye kama afi Kojak kit toothpaste nkwada de o na hodo brushes nyina nti Kojak toothpaste per brush de opa bia Kojak Kojak P sensitive toothpaste Kojak F sensitive toothpaste ani nyina aboabo esen ho ban free sefemfem or sensitivity we use ebeboa 0531 069945 0531 069945 0531 070020 0531 070020 Reverend Edase blended families challenges is it step parenting challenges are a woman and now but church that's so about but your reverend lecturer e KSTU or something or so for mama and the experience in a door so pa
is that was say my phone na no pay good morning na blended family ebusia enye se oba ne be ma nko a eti no ma wo mo ma da bi ebusia ase be ma betime de eba bi free baby na odi abeka ebusia ne ho ana se oba ne so de eba bi so free baby na onso de abeka ebusia ne ho etimi kra ye bi abe ma no efie ni oba ne fie ni nti enya ebusia eye nuclear no ase bi a me ne me ye ne me ma ye mienu ne ewo mo ne mo mframframu bi most of the time no be ma ne ba ana oba ne ba na abeka ho na PSC ye hwe beka ho sa no a na chese akwese akra no maame aida se ne maame ewo baabi oni fie ho anasa akra ne papa nso wo baabi eni fie ho no na ye ka se ede na efifiri mu eba ebi ye ebi nye ne ye ne se ebi asise obi firi baabi beka wo ho a oma wo hu yie ankasa so ebi kwa wadwen ye wo se open nkwara asem but sese we kunu ba na aba ti wa utimi check wo hu se how do I feel for obia enye me ankasa media enkra ni biba ebe kire yen eniema na yenim akra bi ho asene ye tete ni dru age bi obefra busua ni mu no e ma wo kra wo parenting style no who say akra wo ba ye aso didi ya na watwitwi ni chance ase anopo sorry ya na wa hi ni bibia ye ne me mai say e kire wo bibi na eboa nso so ma mu mienu no mu dono etimitim yie na chese watimi afa me ba se wo ba na wo hwe ni yie so de a eboa ema mo ntem no eye kama several of them na wotena obetimi a experience but the challenges nsusu wo mu ene say akra onye wa wo ba na sebi yetiti no yede ne bra wo so na so onye keto na wo be moldi no ama na be ye ne bi a wo pesenka wo ba eye oba no odisu ene entity bi a ene wodie no enhia ena aba
ena oba kra jama ehye na adwem se wo hu senye oba no
that's right
nti sa adwen no
ewo na adwen
ewo ni trima wo de ba
ebi mo ba innocently oba ye no on de atete no oba betena so mi ni we mi mpe we ma yesi ayesi odakre bi on sorry ntem ebi a wo so atete wo masam da mo sorry ntem enye odidi onru ade ani mu obi okọ beba na ebi ase bi ojo nso kra so tie ye ni bebre ya challenges wo
obi a otam ni kunuba efa wo so to fom no adwo so anopa
you see
otam no twetwene
Johnson so ya de ketewa bi time a obi jai didi time obi jai didi ene obi nya ne no time bia 10 pm bia 11 pm bia to asoso go na ya akwadro to try ni nyina na nya na bia yare e to time na say o bank ka betam na twe you see enti ebi obeba no na suban ahodo bebre ebi mu ba innocently ebi okobeba na yare bi e won so a wo ba abeko ene ebi so ba akrebu ono ma I say me person me use to say onye but society mu morals ni say you pay anyama na akra we dey mboni bi kwa ni dey sia na akrebu ha so by nature
ya soma na say omra
me how but akrebu ho no ma sa me na hu say onye ba onyini an sa onye no wo ne result e positive wo ni mo enti wo na we say wo moldi oh akwebu wo pekasa asem bi abatam bi atwo asem bi abaka atwo wo be na lawyer bi wo di ni do court dem na no kasa ne ade ti wo na
preach kura ma wa ye
ti wo na wo be moldi no panimu kasa me nka bi enia wo na wo be moldi ne sa ene bi wo so a wo ba ya soma na nkasa ne maame ne papa asay na dwene e wo ba bia oba no ti ya yesi akra we de o twe kura ma ne maame ana wo twe kura ma ne papa enti wo be hu say enko ya akwa papa enko betimi atena fie ho but oba ye no wo se waba
o the battle of samanko ana third word one whatever
o de oba otene papa fie enti no otene maami fie enti oba ba be ha adwen enti ana ewo bibra adwen mu se abanoma nye PS edru ba bi so a akra ne ye one challenge na parent na waba ne ho onye akrebo ho ba fie ho a wa hu se waba ne papa fie bi kra na ne papa nhwe no e bi kra ne papa anye no e na afi yakeka na e bi a problem ni free ne maame o se maame phone bo no kra wo benyem no hu be ma one ne na e bi a yakeka keka afi papa yate ase wa koye DNA e bi kra ye de aba antina ya koye DNA afi wa hede waje wo ti akra no ko nyina no de ahobrate ba maame no one ne ikotena no papa no one ne ikotena ne so enyini ntumo enti won so obe ha ne sade onye ye wose waye na amafie ho no nsem bidwe ekoso
wow na in this case akwada no ba ya how do we do it try tricks bi ebetimi no enkwada titiri wo monye akwada bo ha wo mu ade
yes ye mana ya wo mo kra no obi a wo ni su hwe akwada bi wo ha obema wahunu eniema bi wo wiase but wo kra no wadwene nko so ntu si omu ade tu bon se wo ye panimu wo ye bibi boni o ka che wo straight up
ye ni wa
ya akabo ho ka otimi hwa nam na wa che no se mami wo che nam a wo de eso o fa no so kra no ade ade
woni be hye ni mu
wa ka che wo akabo otimi kire mu se asa wo pe wo ya sem cha akabo wo ka wo be ka enti se wo ye mo ba wo be ne de wo be kuna to wo be kuna na be tuna to atwe me naturally cry no ya na enkra me students enkra ya no mo ye stubborn no me hu o ma asomade rasta 4 to 4 no I say I'm drawn to them yes for me wa adwene bi say e bi ana wa enya odo bi fra hase and obe a wo so a there are pure
yes they have
obo krampa onya boni but the outward no ntibo a wo di kasache wo se hwe asomade mienu na ehye wo no ne no na de wo kobo nsam agema na heaven but culturally unsene baby a adwuma ben ho abakra na akọwa no asomade mienu abo wuti na wa enye no ne boni ana bibio but hwe ye society mo se ne ye hu sa woti awieo ye hwehwe sa ankofo no enso bi ade wabo tie na wa hwehwe to na uniform enti no nye se we please society but at least so that you fit in a bit enti se wo ba no a wa ba no a wonye no e de na wo beye ema ne bitimi nya abadaye e fa nkra ne se wo moma mimini maami fo bibira age omukunu moma omoma mo kra enhu omoma no the way what tete akra and there is nothing like too much love and obi ani ho a wo kire no odo a no wode boni tua wo ka enko ne so ho enti what se den kra no a eden asema me kan menka se emre eden pa na wa wo ba kra onye no se ne wa wo ba wo na obi ba ye wo no na ni ho unim se ne wote wa ba wo ha wo sa ti me ka che ma ne mema se ye nya abotire ne ye mfa wo mo se ye ya ye ma empanyimfo bebre so wo mo hwe yo mbedi adanse a kire wo mo twa wo ho ahia se wo wo ma no wo nyini a it do most of the time oma wo fa wo kan wo ma ne ho no wo hwe wo chen wa wo
ampala mina mi obi di nkomo nipa na obefa na kwa abrochire
you see
o se o de ade no kra o de ade fra abrochire wo kasa men kan kire mi nua yo men kan kire ma je se o special place wa na koma nipa ne ti wo se nipa no na munye but of also ya boa
obo ha obe ne papa no osua no on respond positively sir but wonyini wie na brabo ni modi wie no ote ho ase menhia me step mother menhia me step father enti oba se ne watie bia no fa ne se nka wo ba ene te sa ka sei na nka obi treat no
na yesua no asa bre no ana nkrofo matena mo etitiri wo mo no ejiri kakra kwa nima bonso mo ama no munya aware asem ehu bibisa
o se wo
aho kire bi aba wo mo so no mo mbe omu yusu wo mo ma omo somwe no na wo mo jeju wo mo ma no so akosua tena ha na akosua kwa ya akosua peme na we obo se ombenyini no one ma no na enoma bi toche ma wo nkwara no
adwuma kra mpo no kwa wo ntumi nye se ya ntiti ni yi ya mana ensua ne ma bi wa abrabo ena de okosua aye no watimi ahye ne ho den ena wafamu na wababa benyini so ho enti se wo fa yesi se wo ye obi die ya ena wo die ye enyemre o ena obetena fie ho na oye bone a en kan en complaining che de ye ne bapa no too much on sa akra na ba
yes
wo ma no omo ye bibia da bia wo kan wo ye bibia na wo koka enyema ni bi wo kra ma nkra ne ya ye de si o papa mo enyema ni bi wo mo ye kire mema na mema ni de sie ye so ho no no aye ne boko na wa solve because e bia wo hu se wo ti ade bia wa koma be ye ne de wo be ye no enti so ye wo ba oye bibia wo be ka
nye bibia
ena hu said the ordinary ba fie ho no ono ni moja pa na wo no wu nye wo moja enti wo ka no na akwesa akra ne pa na wo mpe na se edu ba bia nyema bi ho a wo ya wo ka ba ko mienu jai papa na maame na ye ono ane ba na be dadi amane ho
odi bi ba ye no
dadi mani ho na ono anya first hand experience afi on opeso ono ka bu na mo solve enti ye form kan ye mane ho na akwese engu aduane so nche aduane ma ye hu se difference bi wo bi ni ade fa o mo ka emra no ho na hwe di nyankopon ebeye
ebu on so akwara no nkrutu no nko an be nkrutu bia koda no we jara
o hye den me dem say fa hye wadwen mo say de wo ye no wo ye wo ba pa wa wo no ka be ni sa ena se wo hye ne den kura na cha adwuma no o ma no enhunu se oka ho bi be ma bi wo ha onkasa oba bi wo ha onkasa na oye ejapade no na oye nneema bi a ena be hu se oni ho afi we oni beba no de nneema nyina amasa akra no betwa wo nso be we ya be kokko to be kwa
oboa enye yi
oboa ma mi bi wo so awbonso wo fa akire na odi nuane na de ye ne ma ne ba na waba no so na ni kunu ne ma na odi omo baaye ne de we yi wo mama be ma bi wo so wo twa no kwa ma school fees wo hwe ne ma kwa hwe me ma ni be bi ho odi ne ba panyi be ware ni kunu be ma na hwa akra na ma sese akra ne edi no to aso different papa oba no a change abeye mi kunu no mi nua ni kunu edin akra ne se ne one ne te no chese chese keke de bi akra ne na setina na pharmacy say we yi ne stepfather ni din aso ni din so because papa na anhwe no fi no ba ne ma mi kunu no one ne be ware ne se ne one akra ne te no akra ne ye panimu che papa ne so manyina nti wa fa ne say girl ne ye ne bapani one ne very close wa hwe na me ne o university enti the bond is so strong so enti wo fa no na wo ye ni yia obeye wo dia
wow you parenting me who say challenges wo is we krenye easy obo ho no wonim parenting wonim psychology bia say de o kan aye no because all the psychology kakra ba mu sakora bi ye keka ni nyina eye empo me kra me kan ni ba bi pen say wo akwada no esuro we timida e bia beginning no mo the first year ni mu no e timida e kire brain development disorder bi so wan kasantem we slow o he wanim usu sere kra o he wanim e kire say bia o autistic one of the signs no nti akwada e keka to da eye nti say we a parent na bronze wa kire no so wo hu de obaye a e kwa be no onfa so
IS aware ye go school parents ye ni mo bobo kra wo na ebeto ne pem ene ade yensuam free yawo for se ne ye kra ye tete yen ebi ye wo mu ebi nye wo mu da bia ya meka se wo ware a oba na be ma hwe wo ma me na hwe wo papa na fa ne ye measure se wo na papa ye responsible no ye papa no ye say a wo pe be ma se won te so papa akra wo chen wo papa kakra se na papa ye responsible na ma me no te say a wo kofa ya wo de compare no hwe se de ma me tin say de we de sana na wo de hwe se ne ye tete wo eniema ben na wo fa mu ana ye na enye se na wo next door neighbor wa sorry wo adwuma mu se na nkrofo kasa se omo tete wo mo ma ne niema eye ne niema enye ena de meka cha awofo ne se nkra tete mu no eya abotre empaibo so ho abotre empaibo etia kakra akrokro kakra eji bi wo ha wo duru anya bro edu ba bi aba kasa kakra eye na wo ba be ma 14, 15, 16, 17 PSA so de nsa ba ko so belt ni mu no otwe se ya wo be ka se wabo but de wo ya no no so defense mechanism bi na ode ye no enti eye hand in hand ujai uyi bro ni free mu a akra no wa hwe ya na akwa bibie wo ho e na akọbu pi nso so enti bibia ye kakaka du ba bi a eye kasa dialogue one no tenase ade a wuye eye and I mean what strategy but man kra no be feel this on privately say oh yeah special
okay
because me friend won ko na me ne wo kasa oh PSA bi ho kra no ma sheda ma me ni ati tennis ye kra yi tie ma no pe de ne o mo hu se mi sun ne bi fake asemo chese bi ho no ma no me say oh mani da osu o una say una he mi ansa na edi a kire no wona adi kan ba ye na minimum chen wo mo me ensa nyina wo enti wo no say wo gina ma me no mo ma kenso second one so me kwa me say wo ba wudi kan yo she wo say wo
na de su kakra ka ho
wona wo bre so wo sa wadi sua ne ba na enye sa hwe me te say wo no she na tie ma me na ebu oso so na wa ma abo afu ebu oso na wa kan den because at the end of the day omo ye yo omo say yo PSA ni nyina
edawo so na ni ankora na bobo me fra wo ma utikoto asate utikoto ko asate na no so
ni nyina PSA ni nyina aka ho me nkasa kodi di o matem me bi kura wunyini a hwe me ma me manu ewo hoi se ka me sis mi so ano na lipo ini ho ahwan bia ka PSA nko ye bi wa no sonso masa sonso no see me nyina na msi ya nu se so ba mfo so ya enkofo wo mu die you see me nkasa ye wo baba sometimes sa human ne sa ne ma ni nyina no e ka ho wo abringi mu ye mfo mo namfo ye ne omo nye kama ye nya adwumaden na ne ehi omo nyina so yetumi de ama wo
wow
na apoa
the topic no obi the message abasa wow ohia onim sapatu ho ne betimi aye bie ma fi so ogu setime Reverend Yedasi no pay the time no so ye menim sapatu wo mu ana okay e bi a kire ho ye ka ho asam ne din ni Reverend Mrs. Amapokua Obin Bruce enye nwanwa fi se oye sofo ankasa e no san ye asafo ma me ni nyina ansa no oye lecturer e wo KSTU and experience no ne adesua wo nkwarantete ho e ho pa nyame hira so be kire ye what the number to ja mo how
020
760 2365 020 760 pacho wetimi afranya najo that's pa oh I Midini PSA ladi ye change over me move over na Kwesi pa Kawoson ateki over the crossover ye OBT agenda di mo share in na deserve encantadios adios yebeshia
make your marriage last 33 years is to try not to argue with your wife. And I'll tell you a very funny story. When we achieved 30 years of marriage, it was a big celebration. And we were sitting in our pastor's office after church. And we're talking about the celebration that was coming, 30 years of marriage. And so my wife started saying that, Pastor, don't you see, 30 years of marriage, this marriage has survived because of me. That is me who's made this marriage survive. Otherwise, this man, who would want to marry him? And then I made the mistake of arguing and saying, oh, the marriage is survived because of me. I am the calm one. I'm the patient one. That's why the marriage has reached 30 years. And we're arguing. My pastor was looking at me in a very funny way. And so when we finished and we're walking to the car, he called me aside and said, why were you wasting your time? You know you can never win that argument. And so I cut it short, but I learned a lesson. So the next year was 31 years of marriage. And we're sitting in the same pastor's office. And everybody was saying, happy 31st anniversary. And my wife brought up the same subject and said, you see, this marriage has lasted 31 years because of me. And I remembered what my pastor said. And I said, yes, it has lasted because of you. And I thank God for your life. I couldn't have got a better wife than you. So she looked at me and she said, are you correct? Did you did you wake up well? So never argue with your wife, you know. And that's a lesson to those whose marriages end after 1 year. As my mother said, she said nowadays the longest marriages last is 5 years. And so it's a little tip to those who are getting married.
These days, marriages last 1 year, 2 years, maximum is 5 years. For the past 10 years, marriages, most of them don't last long. So I congratulate you for being 33 years in marriage.
Thank you, Mama.
We also brought a present for your wife to mark this special occasion.
Right, that's His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana, making the point that when you're 33 years of his marriage, na mamina obekasa sisi echemuze, and our enaban cry 5 years, 5 years, negu. But if the President, it's me abomodin at 33 or bon homodin, but obesha kaneno. No, our chapa. In fact, your papa name and mum does it. But then the young boys and the young girls in the bar. No worry, and I just say it was for our neighbor be guano. And I pay the challenges of our the expectation become. And a President Kasembi said, never argue with your wife. And he said, no, a argument. You can't win that argument. Jamano. Jende and I pay. Based on your company, I catch ye. Now, I'll introduce my guest to you shortly. And I'll pay Hafiz Tijani, or a reporter, or City FM, City News, City FM. Or say, happy birthday, and for Maruto say. And the message is that on this special day, we celebrate a strong, dedicated, and hardworking woman, the Manso Adubia Constituency Women's Organizer for the NPP. Your commitment to empowering women and serving the party with passion is truly admirable. May this new year bring you good health, more strength, and greater success in all your efforts. Enjoy your day to the fullest. You deserve all the best. Happy birthday once again. It's way every year. Hafiz Tijani, or a journalist, I see him from Ruto say, who happens to be the Manso Adubia Constituency Women's Organizer. 80 Ruth, baby, I will another baby. Yamau a special happy birthday. Including a year or a part TV na Madame Fobacon a year Sonny Serum Akapovi and your birthday. Sonny Serum Akapovi. If you are watching me this morning, Sonny, now a happy birthday from your siblings, your mother, and when I'm from your munano. Yamau a happy birthday. Now the pay. Tell me kind of your munsam. Some no Dawson. Now Dr. Reverend Y.S. Waffle or her now to pay. Or your marriage counselor, or your pastor, and a law lecturer at Wisconsin University. I don't know whether I should call him a pastor, a lawyer, or Reverend. I don't know which is which. But anyway, Reverend Akwa
that's it.
But Reverend Counsel, I know Akwa.
That's it.
That's your book, dear.
Yeah, we are doing Paka. We are doing Kakraka.
Nice
divine selection at 2 AD.
And one divine selection at 2 AD. See, based on your Omapenikani,
yeah.
I mean, just a quick comment on that.
Yeah.
Oh, is he right?
Yeah, he's basically right.
Oh, sir.
In the sense, and then a consensus in the detra.
Okay.
So dominant position of yesteryears is gradually diminishing.
A free system.
A free system. So if you want your marriage to last, be the better person by being the one who is apologetic, sincere, takes all the blow, and make sure you maintain the marriage.
About the young Cassabi, we are.
The Akua say,
we are, you know.
I know because basically, yeah, premeditated notion and they said Bema dominant position. You can air fine now. But then we are evolve from a collaborative position to from a dominative position to a collaborative position. The collaborative position is say no. A basa minu jai kra teteno mijawa misumu and then minu cha unyoma pepepe equitable and intino somehow evolution ni enibiama yate ase yepe wo no mrama ho kwan se hwoba mran so mam ho kwan se mehwemba untimi nka se because am yebe ma menkwa na mehwemba you also have a role to play intino no akoye the same standard intino nipa no I evolve with so many rights to see. And as I say, first now none pay a housewife, and then or buy a PhD, and then or buy a doctor, or buy a lawyer, or buy a the profession, and be a bema won't mean for pet and she's any panel. To the acro, and need the order. And Sebi, you didn't panetina.
I see. It's in a sa. I didn't not question a member with to me, no. You say a member. And a husband's the hard to me no moon.
You have to be the bigger person to earn that respect. And then most assassin. My na me type move would be na a Olu Jacobs. Now you can't do it. So I have done it. With that tone to show say he's a man and he's basically in a dominant position. But then and then a persuasive, a luring. Why? We tender the gullibility of a woman to get what we want. Yenyano French bium, and then you use the diplomatic tool, the caring tool, TLC.
A banisana, the expectation of the young boy of the power as the head of the house.
Yeah.
It's our power, son. Don't you strip him naked of that power?
You don't really strip him.
Or you call him so Bema dear, or the head of the family. I can't yet at 23 without taking a decision. When I say maybe it will do enough of some collaborative or the beggar had to make the marriage worker. I said, remember your seminal. Oh, yeah, Jeffrey.
Not necessarily. Why? Because the Quran Kwejina, and there is a principle say, though the man is the head of the house, the woman is the neck. How many times do you turn your head without the neck? So in the family chain, you're the war at the higher apex, and you walk the next chain. In a ladder, when the second ladder that is supposed to make you climb to the top is not there, you struggle before climbing. You might even leap in the sky before potentially either grabbing the final ladder to arrive at your destination. And the base of support base, they say now evolve from one man, one show to everybody is on board. Because it's the lady who manages the home when the man goes out there. It's the lady who tends to give the man moral support. Give him all the sort of companionship he needs to fulfill his obligations. And nipa now also no mouse as support no. Nere how do you manage it? Makoto car near V8. And he has a man attention by giving it V power and cost servicing. So you should know what you are getting into. Nipa now kono one ko fan is obet na ba brabom. And then won't me in shano. Imrama na hu se wo nepe ni free will to do things.
Free will.
Free will. Won't me in shano to say first. Your biblical examples, you say, oh, ko baby no kuno ka se menkwa. But the Lord has given her the right of freedom of movement. And where do we establish a thin line between religious rights or religious demand? Then the legal demand that seems to say you can locomote everywhere, you can move anywhere, you have that right.
It's and then no say say wife ko baby. Na o ka say man nkwa. She has the right to say something.
Biblically.
Because biblically. Freedom of movement, which baby.
You can't stop her from going. You can influence her. And in the modern day, no, yen shano, ye di nyansa, and ye di tunefo. Funny say, baby, I me, ye find a typical example, baka, Oyerepa baby. Instead of saying my uncle, we don't make a leg as Miss Roma, baby, or come Miss Roma.
The outcome Miss Roma.
Miss Roma.
No, Roman, so bit me cool.
Basically, but who
so no, Obano is Roman.
If you have built that sense of you say intuition, you're always right in a relationship, and I say in marriage, because baby, or condition, need to be bunifor. But in the sense, oh, Shana, if you coerce her, she'll force herself to exercise her rights. So in the modern day notion, biblically, asori nipa, the same doctrine, only the same doctrine, it will also create a problem because se minyini nyina ko Pentecost ya tete yese yembu yekunu. And based on that doctrine, only say make us a menko, and a wako, deacon Betty, apostle Betty, obejo. So in such arena, ne you okay. But where no kojidi also commented this. No doctrine. And I'm quite sorry, Krano. She will insist on her right, and the law will protect her because she has a right to feel how she wants to feel.
And it comes to so this is what we need to do now. Obi shall pay. Then I think okay, so I think it's a young call the expectations that the call our able to
yeah.
Should we change our perspectives? A J the choir, you know, but title choir, you know. Is it that it's a sabotano or says son? And I say, whatever I say, in this modern day,
there's a general expectation towards marriage or persuasion. One, for companionship. Bible even said that it's not good for man to live alone.
True.
Two, for procreation. So the basis and dynamism of marriage hasn't really changed. It's just that the preconception towards marriage, you know, and I didn't ben am diukum. Oh, Kwesi a fine boy. Ne papa ne your friend is saying, despite. Intimi national service boyfriend am a war me jana ko for despite bad boy. That is to tell me say oh preemptive inti oko. Enti oko do ho na afi the despite bad boy nyoma nkoye mana. Are you going to leave? Why? Because the very core ni inti o de koye no. Any hobium.
Me madam forget you no kwako why bugger be so
yeah. So that's it. Until at times, you see, even in the lens of it, that's the thing. Because in the nutshell, no, your contractual obligation is a contract between a man and a woman. We use union. By union, basically, you append your signature for something that is definite until you want to break otherwise. Into Makwa, sorry, the Makwa sign said made in here for better or for worse. But these days, if you get people talking, if you TikToker, you say for better for worse, you know. Obani to me, Dan and no say for better for better.
For better for better.
For better for better. On cap better for better.
Okay.
Yes, no. She doesn't know. In her preconceived mind, she doesn't know anything like poverty, and it's sadomic because the moment such a person who raise him now, what should I buy? I like to be job. Then the issue of union procreation. The issue of even getting time to even satisfy your wife. Imran said, Imran said the very day, one of the, if you are not even able to consummate your marriage, they can bring some annullity. Now, Nipano, first time, no, when to me, after the, and you remember the person Modo Bnado. There are even at times when you abstain for sexual one, why do you need to make it work? Oh, yes. So, at the end of the day, to me, shrink it back because it's not active. So, imagine there are two working people. First, the human so basically, the role of the modern woman has changed from the old traditional woman. O se we are dware abesi we dwane abesi ho asha wa betra on cha bo komode ena me no ka say oye dwuma bank no pressure on me clear nyoma wi a bebe wan hwe no bebe be fia be no adwane ama no ama na ye your befriend so na ye say wo cocktail party be after he manager so munye cocktail party no to no hwe nkura no. So the modern day role of the woman has really changed. And you know, it becomes eminent for us, the gentlemen or married husbands, to also take up a role to meet that growing evolution. If not, we will fade away. So you don't now go to your pastor and say, we use wisdom. And I was watching a movie, Dolph Lundgren. Then he was supposed to infiltrate as a CIA in our school. What we call you are grounded.
You are grounded, yes.
So the case were fighting and he said, you are grounded, stay away. Then the person helping him with the intercom said, we don't use that anymore. You ask the two parties how they feel. And in their own emotion, when they feel bad inside, you now educate them, say, if you feel bad about hitting your fellow students, then it meant it was a bad call. Into no need to figure out, say, action I'm taking wrong. Then the conscience starts working. So the
modern day husbands,
I believe, say, a problematic because
is it that the reality that's
and you'll be analytical and you'll be observant. You know, they are spontaneous men and non-spontaneous men. Women like spontaneous people. Spontaneous, who cannot aba. And you men you know netisa. And then your man's you know that caring. And then some women are feminine, masculine in nature.
Yeah.
And it do time now. For you to analyze the personality. Or your masculine, I was also try at a certain point, you know. Bafom kakra. For instance, she's a career worker. Imagine Obia minister of state, and I say in the Methodist circles, no, or ban ni kunu mumie no ntimi yeso of money. I was about to hear inti or ban the choir software or bemano, bear ne boafo. So the role has changed. Or yen yam yejuma into bear ne seso boafo. So now the sense of boafo and name say my sense of boafo no. The role is that now we do the same thing. They say one side of you. It has become mutual obligation for us to protect each other and play the roles. Therefore, if mommy is not in the house, it doesn't mean daddy cannot cook, cannot bath the children, cannot prepare them for school. So evolution of knowledge, you know, Amayati has said the things that we left the woman to do alone. In fact, me real who sometimes na me from a car and I'm who na jubi me ta from a car late na woman no akorashi na chi akora ba ko nanti waso akoko esi no ekuta bucket e de nanti na akoto ne koko awie ni nyina no be sure so okwa be man be sa butu ne so and more right to have enjoy sex but at that rate. How about So wisdom in it, you know, at times these days, that's why we advocate for counseling and education. You can do self-education. No say, oh yeah, intellectual. Adebi wa wosu ade akwache, adebi wosu ade foforo. Enti yensu say as husbands, adebi yensu bibi foforo. Then we also have to learn to study our partners.
Okay.
The Julie you saw one day is not the Julie you are seeing today. Julie was young now also no a young none in what hurry. There be Bob slow. In fact, studies shows a mema a church ma physically, but a man a church mema because of the burden I did put on mema. So the first call point they say yes, certain I say oh bema yeah they won't them because of the stress but in a modern day they say if you manage it very well, ne collaborative, you are bound to live longer. Why? In the certainty or the physical structure of man naturally a stronger sex and or by a weaker sex. Normally in the body fundamental they say oh worry somebody who is younger, the tendency in near worry about or younger and they say oba ni nyini ntem. And you know the old
age meter obenyina sin wo be man.
That's the old preconception no. The time is the old preconception they say we didn't have anti-aging, we didn't have supplements, we didn't have things that could make somebody look young. Those days anti-aging is and then we do you introduce certain things, awareness and whatever. So wisdomically, the best thing to do those days was to have a younger person who so we are looking out for posterity. That was the wisdom. And then a family house, I am friend say old age home,
ontological home for
yes, geriatric care name so knowledge wise, it means the open of it my worry. Once you know how to protect, what knowledge base as to how to sustain your marriage and to protect yourself for posterity. And in your PSS, it's no more one way.
Yeah. Mami, in normal PSS, we are looking at the expectations that you don't more as against, of course, you shall say with a argument and say, they caught into expectations. I mean, you don't have to argue.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are Belma, I say, oh, now, bro, what's in fact, what can I say, Mrs. I say, Nanka, traditionally, a man, a year, member, yes, so one a do certain situation be a, oh, Bearman, ebe ye, Obano says so waffle.
That's it.
It's, and no master, the modern day, we are saying, a year, and olden days, and no master, and memman. And yeah, say, me am your Bearman to say. If I say in law, God and Brab to be Emma Hawkins will be at me and your pay as in movement of freedom to be called the Alpebia. You say, who could cry, who come and could say inquire. Well, so yeah, I saw it, yeah, but make it on that level. But they don't question up so called baby. I mean, now
they who cry say, do you know, say, in our general of law, no, people are trying to bring about this what we call marital rape.
I marital rape. And some say they were
so yeah. So the issue becomes say
marital
rape in the sense Nipano. She has right to consent to sex.
Yes.
She has right to withdraw sex. So, for instance, the law in their wisdom says that, I mean, my menses, for instance, I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate. I mean, my menses, my husband wants it. Generally, even in our cultural settings, was a chinchina me. No, why? What you are doing is that literally you are psychologically deteriorating the woman. So the law seems to protect such a person. Say, when I'm not in the mood for sex. Yes, I'm not in the mood for sex. And so now, so there are two sides of this because all kinds of breno. Oh man, who knows blue balls? Who remember? So in the paradox of this, all these things, the law has evolved to protect the woman from some of the injustice, some of considerably an element of injustice. We take advantage of. In terms male power, no, reduce at a certain wavelength because one.
So what Jack to say, remember your celebrity member form.
A bit member form.
Look because of
Bema will always be a Bema because he's a facial head.
Right.
Yeah, even in governance. Even in governance.
2 minutes.
King Charles is the king of England, but Prime Minister na So at the day, no, it is there. Then in the modern day, we have a a very diplomatic and a fair intellectual way of harnessing the male power. So you are still the head of the house. Do you know the EFE? Obanu was catching Muko restaurant and no is Kanamo. Baby, Yako restaurant, J1,000 Nefako. Do you know that a bimonsu ni ferry say, Neyilbetria? Why? Because in a modern day, no, any biaba.
Because that was the question I was going to ask you. Sir.
Yeah.
What can say? You no rose in a swap here.
Yeah.
Say to me swap.
Yeah.
Largely, though, what come modern.
No, to maintain a marriage.
Let me back. What come modern expectation? The modern expectation still requires that Berman and a chefy and a bibia.
Not necessarily.
No, I mean, I'm telling you because and the Berman bet your light bill. That's why that's why marriages are failing because they pull that's what yes you are brought for no Ghana law according to article 11 will tell us say English receive laws in the common law right they say yes you are bochire for abochire nim de kakra yesuya evolution no and aboa ya ma yehu say nyoba bi wa na ya na etetekwa waware ma na ya ma tumi a say mema aswa yeshi kakra. So the evolution will tell us say women will have rights at any given day. Right. Na me build the point me ya escape point ne kakra. Okay, see point but so we answer that question man because say the expectation of the woman say the man must satisfy everything no is no more there. It's no more there. Say yes say yeah man it's no more there in the sense say yes say enye bema nko a se wo bema to a enyo bema nko a na ye wo asemi etai ka se ye wo bema so mebre exactly but also yes or be worry there also mebre because you have an obligation the same way your husband has an obligation to take care of you you also have an equal obligation to take care of your husband and your children. So what is it? Is it the maintenance of the children? The maintenance of the children is not solely the responsibility of the father in contemporary times. Really? It's not solely. That's the unfortunate sense because in even when you are going for ABR or call for custody or any form of battle, there was a Obani means. Imagine if I'm going for a custody battle and Obani means who's chamia. The woman is likely to get their children. Why? Because she can prove say obet marry her akrani. Why? Then we also consider the interest of the child. So at the day no, if we are say we are saying ni bia mayati ase say enye be man kwa ne hwe nkura. Enye be man kwa ne ewa asede say be hwe oba no ho ban. Oba no so wo asede say wo so be bo be man ho ban. So because your friend suggests a typical normal average. Yeah. Couple. Yeah. Yena juma, the wife yena juma. Oma rented that. Yeah. You make your light do room. Yeah. You make your water bill. You make chop money. Yeah. It's be money you chop money no. O chop crowd school fees. Yeah. O chop water bill, chop light bill. Yeah. Say car say you no na ba kwa car ni. Yeah. It's ni na eda no so. You bet you say you can see a chema. You bet you say. Aboche for your man here fedodo. Uko aboche me dey aboche dey here ntoto here. Uko aboche oba betime afa bill be ma betua fees. If you have a water bill and a light bill. Basically be man be maybe 70-30. E be also 50-50. Based on the to mo ba na unfortunately higher pre-national agreement. Yeah. But honor they can agree say me no ba wari emu yi me medjuma wife ni inti me no I'll pay this bill you pay this bill inti no me metria water metria for car mortgage metria for insurance for the house yeah but also groceries e wo fi o nyina into be ko abochire awari emu no oba no ahoho ni parents cry for abochire ba at times omutimi for no say nkofo ya misuse nyoma my den matter they start acting in the male dominant position say nyoma na meto sisi asa into unu so ba kofa adamfo abedi yedwane a also Toby sort of because also free said why any so they put up now they now become male dominant in the sense say also entrenched position where she contributes. I see. Into gradually that thing is also coming to system no and we have to embrace it because we cannot always put
all the obligations on the man. Woman must support. The entire support, you know, use diplomacy. But in a modern day sense, the woman must come to contribute. Be man bet me ayare. Now, it was say oba na yede eye adwuma. But nipa no anya stroke that dem no. Common sense say wa otifie no. Kware bibi yede. Ebe bo afie. Ba wo to say be man na was anya stroke no. Wo sa ko tun botom say ade nti na wa yede. Be man no so ko pension. Be man no ko pension no. Say scam ba from. It is wisdom for the lady in a modern contemporary time to ascertain say, oh, me kunu in the next 10 years, I pension. Onya idea, me bra me person me ye adwuma kakra. E de boa.
No, I'm really talking about mom ye adwuma.
Unfortunately, no. But the principle in marriage is equitable and just. Even when you are devolving, devolution of marriage, equitable and just principle. So me no worry no. Na minihwe na mbenya bibi wa ware nima ye kwa ebechem pepepe. So if in that wisdom say ye ja ware ebechem pepepe dia wonya nipa ncheme, you also have obligations to me. Until end the day no, your obligation is equally to care for the child. Until me the hospital, me na me send through hospital mbefa akora no enko school ana. You have to also do your part. That's the wisdom.
Maybe for nice because it's very interesting. And I'm sure Nkofobia said in message say this is the first time they are hearing some of these conversations because I know some of them are there, but largely no. A man about TS say you ten your man. A man is about TS say your power is as a man.
Let me give Paka. Autocast 10. Oyere ebia wo no twi V8 no. First no, tete no. Say car ne board in ba na me toka na met matra de meyere nko ho da ene modern day woman no wako school no nani abie say ne kru VAT si wa because of spousal rights obetimo to car no odo kwan so obetimo to Range Rover obetimo kwa de akonya ase de ne kru ntimi ane he why because in the spectrum of you know mrem kra wo yire ne ba bedi aba bednya wo japade so if then the Lord seems to see you guys as mutually beneficial of whatever you've entered into.
Because I know a lot of people may have concerns about some of these things you are talking about. Very controversial conversation.
Yeah. Not so controversial. It's straightforward.
Then you came about collaboration and partnership. Would it be fair say Bema so me papa wire?
Yeah.
And your man I be kano. No band because you come and you come there and
debatable because debatable. Do you know, sir, in the biblical sense, no, in the traditional even sense, no, all the inside commercial for the no, there was nothing like Trolless brand. Modern day na kofa sa anyo man hwehwe nim nyina aba.
Okay.
Oko typical spiritual churches are. In some churches I'm privy to, they don't spend more than 1,000 Ghana to go and marry.
Okay.
Why? Opepe kakra, the ma asodantane, the akeka kadina. It's just a general. So penifo nim nyansa no many efino. Omba was men to me bane ma.
Right.
Wa ko boaba ho na yede e fa bra. Why? Because in our all customary sense, no, one, you must show element of responsibility. To show that element now, you are okay for the goal. Materialistic things be abe shielded the concept of marriage. Amana too expensive. So the question
is, and I say, enya beman is only beman.
There was a mutual, ye custom no. My main tumbas in explaining so that people don't get it twisted. But I don't want people to get it twisted.
Okay, me too.
A man say, Minu mien na awo, Minu mien na akwaje dan. Say, man, ba na ye adwuma. Na nyina na ete dan mu. Na me ho akere me. Na bia bibi nti, e bia ya yi medi wo adwuma. Na wo ye adwuma. Na mortgage no eduru a. We ka che say me na mbetwa. Common sense says that wo ye adwuma na wo so ye dey. Uchiaka. That's the point I'm driving at. No, I'm not totally.
Yes.
you must come to that, even in counseling, you must come to ascertain, say, a mutual contribution. Good, but also worried there. Normally, the test is other.
Okay.
But nobody says, say, or one person or boa. But even the male, in the male dominant sense, open say, Bema, ye boo our rema. So, Bani Yamawa, normally the tendency is a bebuno. Now, can find here, but the tendency is a bebuno. And Obano Quabeboon, a yonyam or heading. Okosha Obano. Into Obani Momusha Beman and Yonyama, then you are become a vulnerable entity because in their culture, no Beman a Besho Ban and Yonyam by making an honest woman out of her. Into Akoya Utena. Yeah, culture, no stigma kakabeba. But legally, no, there's nothing wrong with a woman coming in to come and support the husband.
Right. I'm be full lines.
There's nothing wrong.
I'm be full lines.
There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, sure. I mean, successful marriage and look at the potential of modern day marriages.
Yeah.
Now, Reverend Counsel will be into a lot of things. I mean, be a full lines amount of pain. I join the conversation.
Yeah.
0594 19409 0322497264. And so there are two things. A man, responsibility was also mobuefi.
More sudi.
Says some mobuefi. And ya beman and kwa. And a beman also a man no check a financial bed in Sudino. Now also 2 minutes a beman. Can I control a banner? And so upon the home. Because no catch a wife is a man in PR, but to be a P because a man won't kind 2 MP to uncover your so your freedom of movement. Won't mean channel. Wobet may or ban says of 1 4. I had channel. I both say Juma Baby or Bantam. So, I mean, these dynamics, you know, the Ghanaian man, no, over tears here, the Ghanaian woman, over tears here. Hello, good morning.
The international journalist.
Yes, sir.
Pastor Wilson.
Audition bani.
One problem di Edward Nyunesu number 1. Wa chumako ma audition bani.
Audition by you.
Yo, mama panti ama police ni munyamfo bia otati pa your friend no Ebuzen Majid. Ebia obi a o hell all the way from Water region no.
Okay.
Kwesi mama nchacha mo de no kokuapia any GFK. Bema wo yishia yeso ono so me manache. Aha, usubempa. Na no kwesi ni paka. Ene de why anwanwade. Ana fuwi a wo cheye ntia. Mama ye ni ajepa ene video wasesem kra na paka enu kwe se awade ene abrabo ebekon kan pa mabema ne yira ehia ma se oba so eso abrabo no mu bie na eniama ekoyie onse yesi eduakro ejemframa ebu
right
ti eduru bebi a ye mema ne ye dua na nsusi ekoye ba akofo na paka homatin wasore obetna studio ukwa watompaboa wato atade ukoduru bia obet school fees yeso ba yare bibia unkwa paka obedi emfise na ewa atade so enti eya tudie ma ema bi a womoso ne mema tia wari mu a womoso timi so ye mu bia na omukura ne oma bi na mema so de ebetom na timi aboa ne timi atrate na anya sa tembia na mema de ase wo mafunu ukofi ana wo da tentreba ho za na waduru ba ko pede oti wa empai
Medas Odisheba Medas point well made. Mama Connect corner so. Yeah, hello, good morning. Oh, Tino home, me pacho mo fra mamun timo why Mr. Ayesana a bit delayed. Feedback the bit delayed. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Oh, me never ma Christ na so drink out.
Mr. Paul Akwaba no pay it you.
You and a baby my mama baso pa. Nche man peni excellent Tom. Osuboni zamani mama. Oni ni vice president oba kia mo papa. Ni o mo ni say aware Yakubon any on pa. Yakubon ni aware on pa. Eche Yakubon po bi wi no bo ni pa. Wi ni ji kade ba ko. No di po pa kan no. So ban meboa no. Nti obema o say udo yire na o ko yire na o yire su do wo. So nso tule bi a ene no wa say almost so it is that Okosabu for why no idea. No part of the Nako, so the Marco Sasa for the same meeting. At the end of the day, which may die, I don't know, I don't know. And you, and yet, and I'll say it's so what you because when you Mr. Parker, the cousin match, I better go away with no idea. Yeah, the couple of training be best here. After the time, say, 10 mania. Name you, Mama. 10 mania, name what you say. Someone after me and what you become when you name him, I'm become the time today. But the years of him be banana, I'm mad. Say, I'll fight. Okay, come, effort.
Okay. Medasi. I'm going to corners on the pay. Yeah, hello, good morning. Yeah, hello. Yeah, good morning.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, good morning.
Morning, Paka.
Yes, sir.
Bajo, good morning.
Bajozi.
Bajo, good morning.
Good morning. You're first and half thing.
Very Malazan, Katepla.
Okay, it's your opinion.
Paka. And I was my power now. Our last my year for now, dear. And yet, Ukopa, so what for Wallo Papa to say, but it's check your mount, you. He say, our year, Ugaza for Walloba, no matter your growth, 150 to 200 million, you know about 1 year. And I thought you, the James also, Atlantic War. Omuha Omuha Festival of Bantia, and also I am Monka
Mate.
Oh, where you snap
Mate. The bench channel. Never does.
What ye? These are Atlantic one idiot. Omuha.
Young corners corners on the pay. Young corners corners on the pay.
Mine, Yantia, say, our Liano, you know me as a sense of Bema your head. Bema dear, or your head. Said you got the Bible, not come once. Enti said the Radia can oba no bebo be man ama the SSO or the person of fans ayena asase so ebem nti oba ye boafo nti obi a oba ye boafo ne bedu mebe no now I say oba be sika now be crucial of be man no epon so dia ene ne basa dia na dane ebe ma wale bedu mebe no na tese ani je point me nye dey emem enti ebe koso problem bebre na yeti anyi ye kran so a na afi akofa so na akugu awale no ade na ma sisi mema bebre no ampa awale
yes enne no masesa
enne ti mesere
ebuja
ye nyina ye nam enchetere ene afuturu ene awurade asem so atchance sa awalefo ba na be ma ebe boa me ye nyina ya awale no ayi
medasi I'm connect corners on the pay. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Pacha first and half
Pacha friend Papa me free Accra.
Okay, Papa it's you.
Masam ni na unim sa de ni nyina de mema ye hye emra bia be bata de bia ho na fili de bi no ye ahyase. Se de na nyame aye aware pepepe no ebi no oba bia be boni be ma bia be boni de tia ne partner. Enti na ma mra den bia ba onye sa me mouth definition zi. Something the word they kind of catch CUT. So the quality my papa because I dare it to be an out one and ye. And no man who definition say communication, understanding, togetherness. So the well and pepe. Name of me about the say, ye dear be a baby shim. And now go for winning in Ghana. One say equality share or whatever, say more where be mo table muno. Unim say be at your Ghana by Adina Coso, Mesro, or baby our Nicono or Catherine say, Yamen me jai. I'm a wajai. Could you be a young coach and maybe another young Guno say, it be assembly about Bema on the year or bar and Casas and Bay who love a low Ghana.
Mate. My for last corner for your appear panope. Me for last corner for appear panope. I think we'll have this conversation again. Probably next week we'll have to have this conversation again. Yeah, hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Oh, maintaining car. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Madam, you're first and everything. But I overjudge to me say, no, couldn't check a fee and no be a, you know, 40% or 60% overjudge to.
And I make up not lawyer Casano. Also, many is a mobile. Many is a mobile, almost a musical a year to do our one thing, and I'm mostly a mere man to say. About no charge about now that I got away on support. And more than
any more than Mate. So, but that's it. So, see why we need to have this conversation again. Because lady they say, oh no, Obano, wo tiebino, bear 40%. Now, no cruise this kind of year, other things or baby. And so they handle in our fee. As I want to spend time.
Do you know, sir, what I'm trying to premise is that marriage is of mutual benefit.
Right.
Samirito Bensa, Mitimichi Benson. But yeah, culture setting is a mimic you about Bensa, you be who miss and I won't mean to Bens. So, in other words, if I'm supposed to enjoy under this, Abocha, I care less. But in Ghana, I also be a Mozambique for. I also be a Mozambique. Because Nipa no yemere and a maide, me car.
I see.
Into that in then the other one, James a gentleman raised here, was it about the issue of predominance, you know?
So
the issue of predominance, not necessarily. Yeah. You should know what you are going to say. Until I may say, yes, you are say, and the minister na me yiruska. Just oba nyamisuro ni mupa ne behu se still in a worldly sense no onu benya skasro is expected so be dey
oh be no boafo
dabio is expected say obey instructive
okay
ena na me dey antoto won say oni oyire eco 50-50 approach e wa buchira woni net wa akofa friends over otimi restitute catch you say na no mobile mo be say me drinks otimi put a ceiling on it meanwhile that is a preserve of a man. Exactly. To manage your home and say, and then mentor Milu, any a yim buffy because more sano. But today, modern lady can do that because on they provided for. So the temperament in it and they say, wow, over subdue to yourself to that genre of relationship. No, you must learn how to also be humble to maintain that relationship. But if you go on a dominant position, it means you are going to divorce prematurely. Adentia, you can't have your cake and eat it. If you are going to have the woman do everything for you, you must have that humble heart and stomach certain things and use wisdom to contain the marriage. But ultimately, buy your house, buy your thing, put your woman into a shop, give her a source of livelihood and be tutorial. That one is now culture. Obe bread wants it because he's earning. But to tell me, say, nisika be otherwise. So, who ebo akohoma. No, we are not because it's our bontia. Edio, Ebia, Yoma, Bia, Wuhia. Ono kasa. So, how is it say, media, Ebia, Mehamere, Message, in Kofo one China. Obekachem say, media, me, ye, was. It's a non starter.
That's the other things.
Good.
But that's the
good.
Point.
But what we are trying to say is, say, modern day, mutual benefits must come to that reality in every man's woman abrabom say menimu kunu wa de mekunu wo ya media wo de also ya dey media so men man just so one sided. That's what we are fighting against.
So
one-sided.
We'll have this conversation
and
again.
And say what the back or nyoma wo so do koya nyoma be dey ehu
and then
there when we say ehu
and then a man no can say Ivad me kunu de ndie me media ye nyina ye dia me media de me nkwa media
which in principle is wrong.
I say in principle is wrong. So pay for that is Dr. Reverend Y.S. Boafo, a marriage counselor, a pastor, law lecturer at Wisconsin University. We're looking at the expectations, we're going to marriage in this modern day Ghana. The expectation back there, assessor. This modern day na a woman day or say sciences. So I'm sure going forward we'll have the conversation about the modern day husband and modern day wife. What we need to do to sustain our marriages. I can't say between the idea boy again our I don't know. It's I don't pay the hand the basic. Entertainment is up next within the Kwesi Park. Well, so I mean, on Monday. Monday is not a holiday, by the way. It's not a holiday. It's Monday, and your holiday will be able to on Monday. I will come your way with another edition of OB. Have a good morning.